Notre Dame wide receiver Chase Claypool had the kind of combine, regardless of position, that every player wants to have. So excellent physically and so good athletically, everybody has to go back and really get to know his film. And we always want physical comps from the combine. Who does he remind you of? Who does he play like? This is a pretty good one that has come up. So you have wide receivers since 2003, last 17 years, 6'4 plus, 235 plus, that ran sub 4.45. The only other name that comes up is Calvin Johnson.
This guy's a freak of nature, as we know. I mean, I know you and we were talking very highly about him at the end of the Notre Dame season. This guy is a wow guy. And I don't mean like wow for what he does in the field, because that's wow. He's wow when he walks in the room. You go, whoa, that's Chase Claypool? Okay, I played with Brandon Marshall, has a very similar body and build to him, and the guy's still got room to grow as a player. That's why I'm excited. And yes, has some superstar physical traits that excite me for what his future could look like in the NFL.
I remember before the spring game last April, we were meeting with Brian Kelly, and we asked him, what's one thing you're sure of? He's like, Chase Claypool has grown up, he's matured, and he will be dominant this year. And there are some very good examples of how he did dominate, especially as the year got longer.
Definitely. As he got more and more comfortable, matured, everything about it, you're right. I remember Coach saying that to us. And let's dive into it, because Chase Claypool had a phenomenal year. A better year than his statistics will even say. I mean, there's going to be a number of plays where evaluators are going to look at it and go, man, why didn't they throw him the ball here? He was open for a 50-yard touchdown. And, hey, there was a lot of reasons of why. But either way, I think his film will look even better than his bottom line stat line.
And he was over 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. So
yes, it wasn't like he was some slouch here statistically or anything like that. Now, here he is at the bottom of the screen, okay? Let's talk about this. Why? Because, hey, we're in the red zone and touchdowns are important in the NFL. And this is going to be one of his key things. I don't give a damn what he is. Receiver, tight end, doesn't matter. I think he could do both. What he is a weapon. And any smart offensive play caller is going to know how to use him in a lot of different ways. Now, this first play, I mean, hey, this is Navy. Yeah, I don't think this corner is going to be starting in the NFL anytime soon, but that's not the point here. The point here is what we're seeing the physical specimen Chase Claypool do. And as you see him come off the ball, first thing he does, pretty good patience, right? He doesn't just fly up the field to where Ian Book has nowhere to throw him the ball. And then, you know, as he does that, all right, the thing I really like about him, you know, gears down a little, tracks the ball really nicely. And he is a phenomenal traffic 50-50 type ball receiver that, I mean, I'm amazed at him. And we know he's got great power in his hands and his upper body and doing all that. All right. But this was not an easy catch. This ball wasn't exactly like perfectly thrown either. When you really look at it, okay, I mean, hey, yep, he's in a good spot there. Maybe got away with a little bit of a push off. All right. But guy got his hand in there, kind of affected him catching the ball cleanly, but still stayed with it. And look at it. I mean, he's got him clasped in there. He's got the ball clasped in there to where he doesn't let go of it. Touchdown. That's going to be one thing evaluators look right away. And this is where teams are going to get excited about using him, going, man, he is some red zone mismatch. He's willing to block. We're going to get into that. Yep. You know, he's willing to go over the middle. And then, of course, he has the physical ability to go up and, you know, what they would say, moss anybody for the great Randy Moss.
I want to point out he was probably expecting to have to go up and moss that one, if we can use as a verb, and it came in
down, came in low,
and the DB got a hand on it, so it was a nice adjustment by him as well.
He is incredible for a big guy at adjusting to the ball. Okay, and it's one thing we're going to continue to see as we go here. Okay, so I got to get used to my clicker here. All right, so work with me here. The clicker is a little different than I'm used to. The buttons are not quite where I like, but once again, all right, here's our guy up here. All right. There we go. He's up there, one-on-one coverage. First off, if I see one-on-one versus Chase Claypool, I don't really care what the play is called. I'm going to Chase Claypool. Everything's off. And we'll see him. Again, you know, this is the thing I like about him too. He knows how to work people off the line of scrimmage. He's got good short area quickness, you know, and you know why that's important is because you don't want to run out of the end zone on your quarterback to where he has no room to throw it. Now, I mean, I don't know. You tell me. It doesn't get much better than this. First off, the guy's kind of holding him. He let go. He's arm barring him now. But, man, I mean, this is a tough adjustment for that big of a player to go up and get the ball that way. I mean, you know, hey, there's just not a lot of guys that are over 6'4" and 240 pounds who can adjust themselves the way he did in that picture. Right. And this is something I think that's going to really, really excite evaluators in the NFL.
Can you pause on this clicker? You don't know very well?
I can get it. Where do you want to go?
Let's get it at the point of contact there. So pause it right there. So we already showed that he's almost 6'5".
Right.
And for any quarterback, I mean, how big is he right here?
Yeah.
He's about 6'8" with his arms stretched out. And as you pointed out, this is not an NFL corner, but it's an NFL corner size.
Yeah, sure.
And you get the idea of what a giant radius a quarterback will have on this kind of throw.
That's like our favorite kind of guy to throw to, right? As a quarterback, you go, okay, like I know he can get open, but when he's not open, I can still throw him the ball. And that's really what a lot of the great receivers have. Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., Rob Gronkowski. You know, that's why their quarterbacks love throwing him the ball. Oh, wait, I thought he would win the one-on-one matchup. He didn't. Let me just put a ball in his vicinity, and he'll go gadget arms and catch the ball. And that's what he can do. And, yes, he is all year like eye-popping ability to adjust to the ball in the air, and this was just one great example of it. I'm standing right here in the end zone. See me? There's my coat and my LeBrons. Did you
with
see
your
me
tennis
there?
shoes on.
You know it. You know I got my tennis shoes on. All right, so let me see if I can get to the right spot here. Now, the next thing we got to talk about is more of the body control.
And I want to point out, too, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that evaluators want to see any playmaker at a key point in the game.
Right.
As you can see, Irish down against a decent Virginia Tech team, and he showed up huge on this last drive.
Huge on the last drive. Made a lot of big catches. This one being the best one. And really, again, another example of phenomenal body control. This ball, I'm standing down here during this game, okay? This ball is 3 to 4 yards out of bounds, all right? He had to explode out of his cut to try to go get the ball, and then also while exploding, had to make sure, man, I got to leave one leg back so I can toe tap. And yeah, it's only 1 foot, but I think the big point here is, again, for a big guy, he's very nimble and has great control of his body to contort, slow down, speed up, whatever it may be. But there you go. Okay, now he kind of goes up in the air, but the ability to then have the awareness to put that back foot down right there,
and to be thinking about keeping
this one up.
Yeah,
that just tells me like the game's not too big or fast for this guy. He's able to think about the play. Where's the ball? Oh no, I'm by the sidelines. Let me readjust my body. This one off the ground, this one on the ground. You know, that's why great players, like you'll see a guy like him smiling a lot. Why are they? Oh, they're always having fun out there. Yeah, they're having fun because they're the best athlete on the field. It's always fun when you're the best.
Who wouldn't have a good time?
Right. I mean, I would love to come back as him and be 6'4", 238 and have a 40-inch vertical.
Right.
But just, again, another thing that really excites me, and to be that big, to have the ability to toe tap, get off the line of scrimmage, all of those things, I think, again, whether he goes in the first round, I don't know. This is a first-round talent. I don't give a damn. You know, like DK Metcalf last year didn't go in the first round. He was a first-round talent. And to me, was the best receiver in the class last year. I think he was over-evaluated with some other stupid things along with this. But he is superstar in his ceiling. He could really be that guy. Whether he gets there or not, that'll be on him, but we'll see.
So we got the 50-50 balls. We got the great toe tap.
Yep.
I think up next we have the good release, which will be evaluated heavily also.
Well, that's going to be really evaluated, right? Because now the next thing you go with a big guy is, can he make short? Yeah, here he is down here at the bottom of the screen, Boston College game. I mean, you know, when you talk about a big guy, you know, what's he like in short areas? Can he get in and out of breaks? Can he turn DB's hips and make them think he's going one way and then break really fast and go another way? Yes. The answer is yes, yes, and yes. He can do it all. And that's what I like about this guy, too. He's really just kind of coming into his own. This isn't a finished product.
He's somebody who worked his craft.
He worked his craft.
He came in from Canada, averaged almost 50 points a game in basketball.
Right.
And then his first year, I think, had 5 catches. They were really having conversations about, should we play him on defense?
Yes, I get it.
So, I mean, you say he wasn't the finished product right away. He is really just starting to come into his own.
No doubt about it. And I think there's room to grow, which excites me even more. But here's one I really like, okay? Now, first off, yeah, outside foot's back. That's the way he should be lined up. Boston College here, he's playing like inside technique. You know, he's playing inside to basically go, okay, I'm going to take away the slant, but I'm expecting him to run the fade, and then I can get there and maybe make a play on the 50-50 ball in the corner of the end zone. Okay, so now I'm going to play it. Watch how my man comes off the ball here. You know, one, all right, it's going to be 3 steps. There's 1, there's 2, all right, and then
outside hips.
Yep, outside hips. Look, he's going to the fade, and he sells it like his body language that I'm going to go that way, and then boom, sticks his foot in the ground, right? And what I really like is the little, just the little change. The little change of speed he gives. He kind of gives it like, I'm going to go, and then I'm going to explode, but nope, I'm coming back underneath. And that too shows me something about the guy. He's got a plan as far as how he wants to attack the DB, and that's what I like about it. So here you go, look, coming off the ball, right? Oh, wait, I'm going to go to the fade. See how he gives even a little head fake, little shoulder shimmy, and then puts that outside foot in the ground. And I mean, he can cut on a dime. On a dime. For a big guy, I always use the phrase, the ability to stick your foot in the ground.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, yes, if he wants to run an out-breaking route like that, can he just stick his foot and seamlessly make that break without losing too much speed? And everything I've seen in person from the guy, at Notre Dame, on the field, even on this play, I've seen that there's no issue at all.
Take that one back just a little bit.
Yeah.
As I'm watching that one, I mean, most receivers, the DB knows he knows he's going to get set up somehow, and usually that setup comes after that first pause.
Right.
And the first step after the pause is where he's going. He has a little hesitation, goes back to the fade, and then under.
You're exactly right.
One more time.
Yes, you're right. Usually that pause comes, and then you get the move that they're going to.
Right.
He gives you a little bit, I'm still
There's the pause.
Gonna go to there. Yeah, it gives the body, the lean, the step, and then violently breaks it underneath. And then this is the other thing I like. I mean, the guy catches everything with his hands. There's no pads. It snags it and rips it out of the air, which if you watch the really, really great receivers in football, whether that's Odell or, hey, let's take Deebo Samuel on the 49ers, Julio Jones, they have the ability to just grab it and they rip it down to where they don't lose one little inkling of speed when they get the ball in their hand, and that allows them to make plays after the catch.
All right, got the release.
Yep.
We've seen some underneath. We saw the 50-50. Let's send him deep one time.
Well, let's send him deep. And I mean, this is not even fair, okay? Now, we couldn't find a lot of deep shots at the Notre Dame home games that were complete. For some reason, it seemed like all the deep balls were on the road, all right? But here he is right here in the slot, okay? And
which he might be in that spot.
He can be in it a whole lot. With that size, I mean, coaches, quarterbacks, they're going to go, man, put that big sucker over the middle and let me just throw the ball to him. I don't care if a safety's going to rip his head off. He'll probably break the tackle and make something happen.
Yeah.
You know? And, this will be another reason you want to line him up in here, because if you get 2 safety looks like this and he's in the slot, whether this is a nickel back in the NFL or a Tampa 2 linebacker going down the middle, they're going to have a hard time running with this guy. They are. And this play right here, I mean, this is not even fair.
No.
Split safeties, they try to put a linebacker to carry him down the middle, and I'm just sorry. There's really no linebackers in football except for maybe Clemson's Isaiah Simmons, all right, that can run down the middle of the field with Chase Claypool with that kind of free access off the line of scrimmage. And I'm just telling you, he's not even hitting it hard here.
Right.
He's just striding to make sure, like, hey, I don't want to run out of the area code or the zip code of my quarterback here. I'm wide open. I got it. Once he realized he cleared that guy, he's like, okay, that's it. I'll just kind of stride it out and run into the end zone. But it just shows you again, too, he's got the ability to beat people deep. There's no doubt about that. There's really not an aspect of the game that he doesn't have, in my opinion.
Right.
That's what excites me about him.
And that inside linebacker from Navy right here is not going to be guarding him on Sundays.
No.
However, the point is, if he does line up inside, he's not getting the top 1 or 2 corner from the other team either.
No, well, exactly right. You're right. Unless it's some matchup type man-to-man coverage. But you're right. More times than not, when you get inside, it's going to be linebackers, nickelbacks, safety, something like that.
Right.
But whoever whatever it is. Again, the way he runs, he's going to be able to beat people deep in the NFL, even the elite corners. He's got enough explosion and speed to do that. Now,
run after catch.
Run after catch. That's what we got coming here. And this game, again, you talked about it. This is a big moment. There he is up top, right? I mean, it's 3rd and 7. They're down by 6. And really, as the season, you already mentioned it, as the season went along, we got towards the end of the season, there was a big moment. They were going to chase Claypool. He was the go-to guy. And his physicality, again, just shows up here in these type of plays. Okay, it's 3rd and 7. He catches the ball at 6 yards.
Well, the quarterback didn't throw it to the first down mark.
They did. I hate when they don't throw it to the sticks. How do they?
Gosh.
No, it's not like the defense knew he might throw it to the sticks. Darn it. Yes, but it doesn't matter with a guy like this too. First off, has like really good awareness of like knowing where the defender is after the catch. Okay, that's the one thing I like. Really snaps that head around to kind of get a view of him. But he's just not going to go down with easy arm tackles. That's not going to happen. I mean, he will Gronkowski or Mark Bavaro you back in my dad's day, where he will bring people to the party with him and just keep dragging them. I mean, again, this was a pretty big corner for Virginia Tech. He's got 2 hands around him. He's 10 inches away from the sideline and can't pull him out of bounds.
Right. Yeah.
Then he breaks the tackle and then drags the guy for another 2 or 3 yards. So it just shows you again what he's capable of doing and why he's exciting NFL evaluators, because you can use him in a lot of different ways, and of course he has a lot of different things in his skill set.
He caught a big 4th and 10 with a couple plays later.
A couple plays later on a deep in cut, right?
4 plays later.
Yeah, right.
Blocking as well, I know. Actually, there's
one more run after the catch.
Yeah.
This is from 2 years ago. Oh no, wait, this is this year. This is my fault. It's New Mexico. Here he is right here outside. Okay. Hey, do you want to throw the wide receiver screen game and get cheap yards with your wide receiver? If I'm a quarterback, I'm yes, please. I mean, I used to love throwing these kind of throws to like Brandon Marshall in a preseason game or a game or anything like this, because I just went,
look good.
I'm going to be 1 for 1, and I can guarantee you he's going to get more than 5 yards, because he's going to make somebody miss and break a tackle, and I'm going to be like, oh, God, I feel good. I'm in a rhythm, even though I didn't throw the ball past the line of scrimmage. And that's what he can do for you. He can give you confidence that way, but again, just shows the physicality of the player. It's just one guy is not going to bring him down, especially a DB. If you don't go in and take his legs out, we'll see if you can tackle him. You could see he's fearless with the ball in his hands. He is looking to deliver punishment, which I like. It's not the typical thing of a receiver. It does remind me of Brandon Marshall that way. But again, to catch the ball, snags it down, makes a guy miss, then makes another guy miss, and then drags a defensive tackle and a linebacker for 5 more yards. I mean, that's what he just did right there. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive for, again, a guy that's toting the line of 240 pounds. You could see the stop, the start, the reacceleration, and then to have 2 guys who make contact with him at the 23-yard line. All right? And then he doesn't go down to the 16, the 15-yard line. I mean, he gets 8 more yards after contact of 2 people touching him.
One of the common knocks on anybody who touches the ball who is physically bigger than most at his position, an evaluator will say, well, it didn't show up that way.
Right.
He didn't play like he was 240.
Right.
I think you can see a lot of times that he does play like he's that big.
I think so. I mean, I would argue, and you tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to sit here and sound like biased, but I would argue he plays as big as his size is, and he plays every bit as fast as his speed is at 4.4.
I don't think he used to.
Right.
You can say that about a lot of players in any position, but end of his junior year and his entire senior year, yes.
Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he got more and more comfortable, and I think, when your mind starts to calm down, the physical ability can start to come to the top. Now, here we want to just show one more little run after the catch. He's down here. He's going to run a little slant route, all right? And this is just about finishing runs, finishing plays. This is what I like. Again, this is not a guy like most who's like, oh, I'm catching the ball, and the first time I get contact, I'm going to go down. This is where he's different, and I think this is where teams are going, he could be a tight end, I mean, he could probably do some of the things George Kittle does as far as in the pass game and blocking. Listen, he's not going to block defensive ends, but he's willing to block, and he is physical and strong. But here, you just got a slant route. Okay, that's fine. He's a great big target, right? Runs it at a nice angle down there. But this is the part I like. Again, hands, right? Yep. Snag, right down, doesn't slow down at all. And there's 2 guys there. And my man here is doesn't care that there's 2 guys there. That's what I like.
This is back to middle school recess. It's like, I'm bigger than you. I'm going here. You can't stop me.
Like, I think a lot of receivers, not named maybe Julio Jones or some of the other physical guys, would have saw that right there and gone, skirt, let me see if I can make somebody miss and do something like that. He just said, nah, screw you. I'm going to put the pedal to the metal and split you guys, and I don't think you can stop my momentum going into the end zone. And as you'll see, let me just get that right there here. And as you see, he can do that, and there's just not a lot of DBs in football that are going to be able to slow him and stop that momentum from him flying into the end zone.
Right.
I mean, it's an impressive physical specimen who I still think is just going to get better and better.
Inside the Notre Dame complex, they're going to miss his production, and they complimented him a lot for plays like that.
Right.
I think they went from liking him to liking him a whole lot because how willing he was to block and also play on special teams.
Yeah, right. There's a physical part of his game. This is not just like some one-trick diva wide receiver kind of guy. This is a football player. And you're right. I mean, we saw him. Notre Dame's been a run-first team, really for our majority of our time working for NBC Notre Dame. He's willing to get down in here and block, and he will move people. Watch him here. He's up top, okay? Now you got to keep your eye on him, all right? Because it's going to get towards the edge of the screen here. But just to kind of show you, all right, the kind of power the guy has. Keep your eye on him. Look at this. Safety. Oh, you want to get involved in the run game? No. Sorry, you don't have the proper identification to get into this club.
Yeah.
Not right now. So you just got bouncered out by Chase Claypool, the bouncer here. But he's got tremendous power. I mean, he's an Adonis when you see him in person. There's no other way to say it. He is truly a specimen, and he's going to be able to do that. And then the last thing to talk about here is what he can do on special teams. And it's just another example. Again, I don't think anybody's going to be drafting him in the top 40 picks to play special teams. But if you feel like he doesn't contribute the first year at receiver, you might throw him out there. Here he is here. He was a staple of Notre Dame special teams the last 2 years. The best special teams player on their team. All right? And I think that says a lot about him again. And just so you know here, he's going down. This is from 2 years ago. And Donovan People-Jones, who's going to be an NFL receiver, is the punt returner. Okay? And as I let this play, all right, there's Donovan People-Jones, who's a pretty damn good athlete himself. No chance.
Got him. Yep.
No chance. So let me see this again here. Here he is. Right there, right? Watch him release off the ball, okay? And then the thing I also like about this as he gets down there, he's just not some renegade idiot, all right? He does a good job, watch from here on out, of slowing down and kind of gathering himself to where he can break down and make the tackle and adjust to the change of directions by the Michigan receiver. Donovan, it's People-Jones, right? Peoples-Jones. Sorry, I'm missing one little syllable there. So, yes, Peoples-Jones. But Peoples-Jones, he ran a 4.4 this weekend and jumped 44 inches. He's explosive. And let me just show you, this looks like a grown man tackling a kid. Like, oh, yeah, sorry, no, you're not going anywhere. Sorry, I'm Chase Claypool, and I'm the freakier receiver in this case. And, again, it just shows his willingness to contribute to a team, tough, be a football player. He can contribute in a lot of ways. And I think he's a hell of a player with, like, a lot of room to grow and be something special in the NFL.
Back it up. Same play. Just go back a little bit here, and now, okay, hit pause.
Yep.
To end this thing here, so there's Chase, as we pointed out.
Yep.
Alohi Gilman was also at the Combine. Cole Kmet. Looking forward to watching him work
think
out.
he's the number one traditional tight end. Right.
Jalen Elliott, safety, was at the Combine.
Yep.
Congrats to Drew Tranquill. He made it last year.
Drew Tranquill 2 years ago. Right. Oh, Notre Dame doesn't have athletes, guys. They don't have athletes.
Don't have players there. Point is, they had 9 guys at the Combine.
Right.
One of the reasons you and I will have a live presence at the Notre Dame Pro Day on April 1st, and we'll be on in the morning throughout PFT Live.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to be there. Yeah, I don't know where Claypool and Cole Kmet end up. I know they're first-round talents. We'll see where they go. Sometimes that's dictated on teams' needs and how deep a position is in the draft and all of that. But to me, their physical prowess and what they do as football players, they are first-round talents in my eyes.
Right.
I don't think there's any way either one of these guys get out of the top 45. I'll say that at least. There's no way.
That's a first-round tight end. Right. That's a possible first-round receiver.
That's a possible first-round receiver. Yep. There's no doubt about it. But that's it. Notre Dame, Chase Claypool, watch out for him in this whole process. Me and Paul will be there on NBC Sports, and we're going to check him out in person, and we'll give you a little breakdown of his pro day.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.